The truth occurs. The truth occurs.
Hi guys, well as you already know there have been mass die-offs of birds and fish all over the world ever since New Year's, and I've been doing a lot of research into this. I mean, I've been Googling so much that I didn't even do my hair. But I'm going to give it a rest after this. I just want to share with you, give you an update of what I found and a possible alternate explanation to the other two that I've already covered. Okay, there have now been so many of these mass die-offs that on Google Maps you can actually see the die-offs mapped. Although that doesn't necessarily mean that they're all related. Okay, this was published yesterday on Blacklisted News. Update, this was from the Raw Story originally. Update, 40,000 crabs have been found dead on England beaches. And from the Huffington Post, birds dying in Italy, thousands of turtle doves fall dead from the sky. So we've got thousands of birds dying in the US, in Arkansas, Kentucky, and Louisiana. We've got like over 1 million fish or something like that in Chesapeake Bay, hundreds of thousands of fish in Brazil, and hundreds of thousands of snapper in New Zealand, I think. Thousands of crabs in England, turtle doves in Italy, and some other places where they had smaller die-offs, but this is like all over the world. I already speculated about a couple things, you know, just investigating that. Could it be a scalar weapon? Which, the more it's happening, the more I'm thinking, I don't know, man. I mean, if they're using a scalar weapon, well, they're really going all out, but it doesn't seem to explain all the deaths, unless they're just really big coincidences and, you know, one flock is dying from some kind of poisoning and another one is dying from something else, and it's just a big coincidence. But if it was a scalar weapon, it'd be weird because it'd be, you know, having different effects on different animals in different places. I mean, would they really go all out like that and attack all the fish and birds with a scalar weapon? I don't know. The article in the Huffington Post mentions that the doves in Italy had blue staining on their beak, which could be a symptom of some kind of poisoning like cyanide poisoning or hypoxia, meaning low oxygen. From littlebitesnews.amplify.com that the birds in Italy could have been poisoned, questioning whether it could have been terrorists testing new weapons. But could terrorists really be responsible for everything? I mean, don't you think they get caught? Well, I guess it depends who the terrorists are. But, like, assuming that the terrorists are the New World Order, I guess they could go in one place and poison some birds and go somewhere else with a tectonic weapon or, you know, a scalar weapon and do all these things. But, I don't know, there could be another explanation. As I've mentioned before, these kind of die-offs, they do happen. This one, pelicans are falling out of the sky and other mysterious mass animal deaths. And this is from 2009. And from the environmental blog, mysterious mass bird deaths all over the globe. And this is actually from 2007, from time.com, Chilean birds and sardines. And here they're describing multiple mass animal die-offs all over the world over, you know, several years. So this is really not the first time that this has happened, although it is weird. This is from Reuters, Maryland's 2 million dead fish caused by cold water. Other mass animal deaths have been connected to environmental, you know, changes or disturbances in the past. So if the water is suddenly abnormally cold, that could kill fish. It wouldn't explain how the birds died, but maybe these are, you know, multiple effects that have one root cause that's natural. Here's one possible explanation. Magnetic North Pole shifts forces runway closures at Florida airport. They go on to say that Tampa International Airport was forced to readjust its runways Thursday to account for the movement of the Earth's magnetic fields. And this happens, you know, from time to time. So they mention that, you know, shifts like that are not that unusual, and say that the field, which is now the, you know, runway, has swung from approximately 10 degrees east in the late 16th century to 25 degrees west in the early 19th century before returning to a current value of about 3 degrees west. And at the end they mention, beyond just sliding around the planet, the magnetic north and south poles have been known to completely flip as well. These reversals, recorded in the magnetism of ancient rocks, are unpredictable. The last one was 780,000 years ago. Are we overdue for another one? No one knows. So does what's been happening with the mass die-offs somehow connect with the pole shift that we're supposedly in for, according to the Mayan calendar. It could maybe, disturb the birds' sonar. Apparently the blackbirds weren't even supposed to be in that area. They hadn't migrated properly. Could it change temperatures? Well, for sure, like the climate is changing. Not to say it's because we're breathing, but, due to a lot of things. And could it also have to do with the pole shift? I guess it could. Here's a video of an old Inuit guy saying the tilting of the earth changes everything. He says it's responsible for climate change. Now, a lot of people are speculating that it could be from, some kind of weapons, scalar waves, post-glacial rebound, all these things, or that maybe God's just really mad at us. So just to be safe, I have referred to my Bible. The second angel sounded, and something like a mountain burning with fire was thrown into the sea, and a third of the sea became blood. Well, people thought that that might have been, Deepwater Horizon. It did kind of seem like a mountain falling into the sea, but a third of the sea didn't actually become blood. But the next part is, and a third of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. Okay, I wouldn't say it's actually a third of the creatures in the sea at this point. Although it did come after the burning mountain falling into the sea. It doesn't say anything about birds, though. Definitely a third of the ships haven't been destroyed. So I'm thinking, could be heading in that direction, but I don't really think this is it yet. Because if it is, well, I guess it turns out that the pre-tribbers were wrong. Well, just to be safe, although this may not be the end of the world, it's probably a good idea to get right with the Lord. And I guess we just gotta wait it out. Well, thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.